Welcome to the first episode podcast. We're back. I feel like we need to make new intros for the summertime now. Like we need a new intro video, a new fantastic sitcom intro video of the summer of like skipping through fields, getting hit in the face with a frisbee.
Hit in the face with a water balloon.
Water balloon in the face, frisbee in the face.
Wonder how many.
And I could be getting some watermelon out of the fridge instead of ice cream.
I'll have a firework. Rico, we can film it on 4th of July. I'll have a firework that goes off in my hand and then it's missing a thumb.
Why? Yeah, I like it.
You could just
Why is Don getting watermelon in the summer? Did he turn black?
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's everywhere.
Ashkenazi Jew. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
Can't go anywhere without running into watermelon in the summertime. It's delicious.
I get watermelons year round. Costco's got them all the time. Yeah, they got them all the time.
Delicious.
Yeah, I get the little ones.
It's a weird thing to be stereotyped, liking delicious things.
I'm actually drinking a watermelon White Claw vodka soda right now. So coming at you, White Claw, sponsor the show. It's delicious.
That'd be great. Anybody could sponsor the show. Racism could sponsor the show. I'd be all for it.
Especially White Claw.
In fact, it usually does. The show usually is sponsored by racism.
Vodka soda and real juice. White Claw spirits, 4.5% alcohol. Tastes great.
You know what phrase always is interesting to me? The one that goes, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Like the black people like to use, black women especially like to use it. I don't know if men use it because I don't know. It's probably always salty coming out of
men are just constantly boastful about all the juices that come out of them anyway. They don't need to have any kind of age associated. We're always
that's like when I'm an old man. I'll act like an old black man, and I'll just have diarrhea like Joe Biden and wear diapers everywhere. And then whoever has to change me, my nurse, she'd be like, "This is disgusting." I'm like, "You know what they say? The blacker the berry, the darker the sweeter the juice." She'd be like,
I
don't understand. I'm like, when you check my diaper, you'll see I've been eating a lot of blackberries.
It'll be like the blacker the poopy, the more. Brian will say the blacker the poopy, the more advanced the liver decay is. Sorry, nurse.
So this is mostly liver in this diaper. I'm like, that's right. Who needs the liver? I want the alcohol to go straight in my blood and stay there. Who wants to filter the alcohol out? Like, really, the better your liver operates, the less drunk you get. Cut out the middleman.
Damn right. Get rid of it. Just shoot it into your veins.
That's what I'm saying.
Take suppositories of alcohol.
They have that. I think they have that. I'm pretty sure they have that. Well, it's also, you could get like this snorting alcohol stuff now. Like if you're a real alcoholic, you can snort it. Yeah, they have like nasal sprays of
alcohol powders or
yeah, I guess yes, I think they do have alcohol powder. And let me look it up, but I'm 90% sure.
Mix it with your cocaine.
But you're saying there's alcohol mist that I could be just poofing in my nose?
There's definitely aerosol alcohol.
It's for driving.
Yeah.
You can't have a liquid. Is it less than 1.75 ounces? Because then it could take it on a plane.
See, you can. Look, vodka. Oh, this is great. Still Spirits Vodka Turbo 1G. Oh, no, this is vodka distiller's yeast. That's disappointing. I mean, if there has it. Oh, there we go. We experimented with powdered alcohol, so you don't have to. Do safety concerns have any basis in reality? I'm going to say no off the bat.
When do safety concerns ever have any base in reality?
No, can that be our concerns.
Can that be our new nonprofit? We experimented with all these drugs, so you don't have to.
We didn't.
Brought to you by White Claw.
Palcohol is what the one is made. Palcohol. So
I like that. Like we're all palcoholics.
Yeah.
We get together. We're just pals that drink.
Oh, see, this is bullshit. You're supposed to mix it with water, though. I'm thinking like, hey, I want to just put a line out. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm not mixing it with water like a pussy.
Sprinkle it on your breakfast.
Yeah. Like, what is the point? I don't understand what the point is. We bought powdered alcohol so you can make it into water, mix it with water, and make it regular alcohol. Why would I have the step in there if I'm not just going to snort it or put it on my tongue? Like, why would I mix it with anything? What's the point of that?
Maybe it's tasteless. So you
It's
can
like back
use
in the
it
day
on
when they
your,
had
on your
the
enemies.
cocaine and then Coca-Cola. Why would you even mess around with Coca-Cola? Just get the cocaine.
Man, if I had a time machine, everybody's like, "Oh, I'd go back and save the world." I'd go back to when they had cocaine and Coca-Cola.
Say this last time?
Did we? I don't
Might
know. We were
have.
talking about time machines, but I don't think he was talking about that.
But I think he said a
No.
different thing if you had a time machine. You just
No.
change your mind every week.
That's the good news. Don's got a time machine. He can go back as many damn times as he wants. That's the thing.
After I got the cocaine in the 20s, I'd probably forget where I put the time machine.
Would it?
And then I'd be stuck
Yeah, true.
there.
Or you'd have a perfect memory of where you left the time machine to to the blade of grass it was next to. Hey,
could
Nick
do
McCone's
well,
here. He says he loves tires. We're not there yet, Nick. We'll get there.
What?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh.
Where's that right now? We got to keep talking about cocaine time machines. Or we could get to the show. One or the other. Right? Do
Yeah.
you want to start with? I mean, I'm wearing my office attire, as you can see, my gym.
Are you
outfit.
actually wearing that for the office?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah.
because they were
Yeah.
dress
Are we a
shirts.
prop show
Because
now?
I'm invested in this show. Yeah, we are.
I've got
a
I told
dog.
my
I'm gonna
wife-
light on fire later for a hot dog. My dog Chloe. She's on her last legs anyway. I'm gonna light her up. Oh, Don's got props. He's got DVDs.
That's how old this show is.
Speaking of cocaine, the only thing DVDs are good for anymore, doing blow off of.
So
That's right.
I was walking down the street. I was taking my dog for a walk this afternoon.
Already
And there's,
doesn't sound plausible because you hate that dog. I refuse to believe you do.
I like to go for walks.
And
but,
walking.
So it was like trash day at one of the streets next one over, and there's like this old guy that I always see, and he's on this side of the street, and he's digging through this box of CDs and DVDs they were thrown out. He's like, "You want any DVDs or CDs?" I'm like listening to my headphones, like, what? He's like, "Hey, if you want some CDs or DVDs, they're free."
Aren't they all free
I
now?
don't have any use for them.
Yeah.
Aren't they free everywhere? If you go to a Blockbuster, if you go to a Best Buy, they're also free. And the same thing, you just have to rifle through a bin of them.
He was
wonder-
in heaven. I didn't want
Did
to
he-
spoil his fun, but
Was he
Oh.
clutching any that he had that he
Oh.
was happy to have scorn?
I don't understand that joke.
Nick
look
said Rico
bad?
carries the burden of a shithole city on his back. Well, I mean, yeah. The question is, were they good DVDs? Like, I have a box of DVDs in my garage, mostly because I'm like, society may collapse, and I want to have something to watch, and also because one time when I moved, we had no internet for 2 days and 2 small children to entertain, and I'll be damned if I'm going to just 100% no screen time parent these kids. That's not happening, especially after moving in somewhere. Like you're just moving a whole day. Something's going on the TV. So the DVDs come in handy then. But otherwise, yeah, what's the fucking point of DVDs?
No, especially for kids. They don't care if it's Wi-Fi or linked to any kind of streaming service. They just want to see pictures on the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I thought Rico was going to talk about Big Trash Day, which they had apparently without telling anybody. There's trucks that on Saturday going around the streets. I'm like, what the fuck are these trash trucks doing here? Annoying the shit out of me. And I go out and I ask him, I'm like, what's the deal? And he's like, once every 6 months we go out and we clean things up. And I'm like, so the big trash? And he's like, big trash. I'm like, why didn't they fucking tell anybody? I have so much crap that I want to put out on the sidewalk for them to take. They didn't tell anybody. They're hauling away, random homeless dumped luggage, and I'm like, I could put out. So I pay you. Take my stuff. Take the things I need taken. So I put out this big piece of wood that was a shelf in my closet. Put it out there. Guess what didn't get taken? That.
The
Rico,
wood.
you're muted. We can't hear you.
I love it.
Rico, are you yelling to your son or are you talking to us?
No, I'm talking to Jordan. God bless him. I told him not to put the Chipotle in the microwave because it's wrapped in tinfoil.
Oh.
And it took a series of follow-up questions that are giving me a migraine. I'm like, just put it in the oven. Should I put it in the oven in the bag? No, don't put it in the oven in the bag.
Okay.
Kidding me?
That would-
Take it out of the
Or
bag.
take it
If it-
out of the
yeah.
tinfoil, then you can microwave it. You'll wrap it
So
in
Yeah,
a
but
did-
then you need the tinfoil to like kind of hold it together.
Well, you
Yes.
can use a paper towel. There you go. Tell them to use some baker's
Oh,
string.
my bad.
What do you
I was
do?
complaining that- Put it in a bowl, and then it becomes a bowl.
Tell him to get married and get a
Breedable.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
tell him to work and hurry up to get your wife over here.
Yeah,
Then she can do all the burritos. Rico,
I think-
Jordan say he want burrito, but I'm Chinese, don't know how to bake burrito. How you bake? What? Beans?
So
These are
in
not
a- in a-
fermented. These are not fermented the way I like.
in a funny story, I don't know if it's funny at all, but she kept
Yeah.
complaining about my car being too dirty. She's like, when are we going to take it to the car wash? When are we going to take it to the car wash? And I'm finally like, how about I just pay you to wash the car? She agreed to the terms of the deal and
Did she do it
spent
in a bikini?
4 hours cleaning the car.
Were you paying her by the
Uh,
hour?
No.
Washing a car takes a
No.
while.
That sounds like you made out like a bandit then. Was it Bikini Car Wash? Cleveland Spring Bikini Car Wash?
No, it was not.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the neighborhood deserves that.
Did
Bunch
she
of
clean
kids.
the outside of the car or just the inside of the car?
Oh, it's spotless. It's better than a car wash.
Nice.
She detailed it.
Yeah, it looks good.
What did it cost
Wow.
you?
$20 plus tip.
Damn. What was the
Oh.
tip?
Like
$250,000.
22%.
It was the end of his wiener, obviously.
A brand, yeah.
Doesn't want that.
She's like, this is 10% at best.
It's like you
All
have
right,
a
on
knife
to
in
the
the
show.
house.
It's like I've played just the tip with you before.
Not satisfying.
All right,
No.
on to the show. So today we're talking
That's
about The
fine.
Office, Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot, where, as mentioned in the headline, Michael Scott pre-Hairplugs. It is very, very much a balding episode with Steve Carell, who was
Yeah.
chunky and balding. And it was funny as hell to see in the later seasons how he's like he comes back a different man. Stairmaster,
yeah.
nothing but protein, hair plugs, a different Steve Carell as opposed to the schlub. And by the way, I guarantee
Yeah.
they cast him as the schlub because Ricky Gervais in the UK version was a schlub.
Right, but it almost seems like for everybody who hasn't seen the second episode, go and watch it. That maybe 6 months went by, or tons of time went by, because he looks so different from episode 1 to episode 2.
Well, he has
like
hair.
it's like they shot a pilot, they shopped it around, and then 2 years later they go, "We got the show sold."
Right.
And then he goes, "Oh, great! I look a lot better."
How? There's no way that the pilot was hilarious. There's no
Yeah.
way it took
Great.
any amount of time to sell that to a
No,
network.
it had. Well, I don't know. They always do film the pilot first because you know what episode? But they film the pilot, then they test the shit out of it. So they probably tested it, and I can't remember. I didn't watch season 2 or episode 2 today to see what they changed because episode 1 was almost a shot-for-shot remake of the UK Office season or episode 1. I mean, the jokes are the same.
Oh,
Like I made
really?
some notes
I
about.
wasn't
Oh
aware
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, it's basically. So I watched both of them, and I watched them both today just because I knew this was the case. I think my brother-in-law Steven brought it up, but it's true. So, like the whole coming in, coming at Pam aggressively or the UK gal. And in this one, he does the whole thing about, wow, you should have seen her when she was younger. In the UK one, he says her name's Dawn, and it's like, hey, what bloke in here hasn't been up at the crack of dawn, and everybody's fucking
Maybe I
her.
should have watched the British one.
It's
Yeah.
great. Well, the British one, they can curse so much more. So they're dropping cunts and shits in there. Whereas the US version, the same jokes are in there a lot of times, but they had to make them a little bit different.
Well, there was
because
a
you can't
funny
say certain
joke
things.
when he was in the meeting with his boss, and he, of course,
Oh,
he
Packer?
answers a call from his friend on speakerphone. Why would you do that? And
Yeah.
the guy's like,
to
"What's up,
prove
you
he has
queen?"
a friend?
Well, does the carpet match the drapes? Which you could not get away with, by the way, on TV today. Well, I guess on tires.
I don't think
could.
you could get away with either of those statements.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So, but it was a different time. As you saw, The Office was awesomely un-PC, for a long time. I think they pulled the Prison Mike episode off, or no, Diversity Day. I don't think they show that on TV anymore.
Well, that one is episode 2, and that one was
Is it?
starting to play. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay,
still
yeah.
there. I was watching it as it was playing.
It might be on Peacock, but I guarantee they don't run Diversity Day on Comedy Central. At least I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Yeah,
because it's so hilariously offensive. Yeah, I mean, it's great. Oh, the thing where Michael in this episode, he marches around. He's like, "We have fun here." Like the guy BJ Novak, who plays the intern. I didn't realize he was in there right off the bat either.
I didn't remember that either.
Yeah,
but the characters are really well developed. I thought in what we were talking about before, like Alf or something, where all the characters are right there already. Michael was Michael. There was the Jim. What's his name?
Yeah,
Dwight.
What's
Dwight
Dwight
is
rivalry,
instantly who he was. Yeah, Jim.
The Jim Pam thing.
I mean, that is the advantage though. They also remember they took it almost directly from the UK version. So the characters were there and they were acting like the characters on the UK version for the most part, except for a couple exceptions. Dwight is totally different from the guy in the UK, who was like an aggressive kind of going out party guy. It was like a nerd, but a partyish guy. So Dwight was really different in this episode or this UK or US version. And Michael, I thought, becomes a little bit of a different Michael as it goes on. But to your point, you instantly know who the people are. Like, their characteristics are so unique and so perfect.
And it did give us some of the best characters from sitcom television, which is Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute, which are just continuously hilarious. Michael Scott's hilarious. Gotta love it.
Although they didn't in this episode or in the pilot, they didn't have Creed, who's one of my favorite Office characters.
Didn't have Kelly.
Didn't have Kelly. Didn't have Meredith, who is hilarious. The alcoholic. Oh, I love Meredith.
Wait, which one? Which one is the blonde that Dwight like?
She's in it. She was in
Angela.
It still. Angela. She was in it briefly. Yeah, when they were talking about doing the layouts, because the plot starts off, hey, you're introduced to the characters. Michael Scott gets a fax, which, by the way, exact same joke in the UK and US versions of him going, we'll put this in the filing cabinet, trash. Same thing. Right. Michael Scott puts it in the trash and doesn't get the memo and then gives Pam a raft of shit about it. So they're doing a merger of offices. One's going to absorb the latter. And of course, we know because it's a TV show about this office, obviously they're going to absorb the other branch. But everybody starts talking about this, and they showed they showed Angela at one point talking to Kevin and going, I know I'm going to get laid off. And he goes, yeah, it's going to be you. So he was less retarded early on, by the way. It got more retarded as it went on.
Yeah, that's how they developed.
Who's the black Kevin, guy that's like thoroughly not enjoying his time at the office?
What is his name?
It's not like Leon, or that would be
Winston. Is it? No, Winston. That's Ghostbusters. What is his freaking name? I wonder if
is it Daryl from the?
No. Daryl's from downstairs. God damn it! When I googled black guy office,
Daryl does not enjoy when
it's Stanley.
Stanley. He does all the.
He was in there.
Puzzles.
He actually had.
Okay. Now I remember Meredith. I was thinking you were talking about Phyllis. She's kind of boring.
She is boring. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if we saw Phyllis in this first one.
I don't think I saw Phyllis in this one either. I think she might have gotten swapped out because there were a couple other randos in the office scene where they were in the conference room. And Phyllis probably replaced either random gray-haired lady or other lady with glasses after the pilot was filmed. And how much would it suck, by the way? You'll hear stories like how Harrison Ford was supposed to be played by Tom Selleck in Indiana Jones, but Tom Selleck passed because he had some shitty movie to do. And he's like, I wonder how many people that were in the Office pilot were like, oh, you know what? I booked this other thing. I got to go, and then missed out on a life-defining, never have to work again opportunity.
Right. There's audition tapes for other characters I've seen on like Instagram. I can't remember, but they're relatively famous people who tried out. If you see it as like, I don't know. I think they got it right the way they got, the way they cast it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they had a lot of like big names trying out for this.
I wonder who else tried out for the Michael Scott character, because Steve Carell at the time wasn't really big or well known.
Let's see if we can find out who
That'd be
else
interesting.
auditioned for Michael Scott. Let's see.
It was Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti. I could see him being
What?
good.
That's
Bob
C.K.
Oden.
Wait a minute. Louis C.K. Rianne Wilson. Rianne? How do you spell this? Idiots.
Rainn
Dwight.
Wilson.
Rain. God, it's annoying.
Well, they
Patton
hired
Oswalt.
Dwight
Nah.
must have done such a good job that they're like, we got a job for you. You can
Yeah,
be
exactly.
Dwight.
Adam Scott, I could have seen being good. Bob Odenkirk, I could have seen being really good. Bob Odenkirk would have killed it at this role.
Bob Odenkirk.
Then we wouldn't have
absolutely.
gotten Saul Goodman.
True.
It's all good,
I mean,
man.
again, everything in life's a
All
trade-off,
good.
man.
It's all
Everything in life's a
good,
trade-off.
man.
It's all good. Yeah. So yeah, Ryan is in it. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I'll tell you the joke I laughed the most at in this entire episode. Because there's not, everybody's so familiar with The Office. I don't know how much more there is to say about it, but obviously, have some more notes maybe. But I love that Michael Scott's telling a story about his management style and how he was so touched. I think it was at the end of the episode. And he's like, I love this job. I love being able to help people and give them work. And he goes, I'll never forget the best moment was a Guatemalan man had come and, he's an immigrant and he needed a job. And I gave him a job here. And he came to me one day and he says, Mr. Scott, would you be the godfather of my child? Didn't work out in the end. Had to let him go. He sucked. It's like, chef's
He
kiss.
just
Perfect.
carries the show for the first 5-6 years of it, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
For spoiler alert, he's not in the last 2 seasons, I think, which are
Did
way
you guys
different.
Did you watch them all the way through all the Office episodes until I'll tell you when I stopped. I stopped watching when Pam and Jim got married. I was like, all right, this show's run its course for me. I'm out. I'm done. So how long
I
you
watched
guys
past that. I watched past that until I think Will Ferrell became because Michael Scott leaves and then they bring in some rando people to be the temporary
Idris
manager.
Elba
Will Ferrell's
came in. Yeah, Will
Yeah,
Ferrell. Will Ferrell. I did
and-
watch. I watched later on streaming or something, or reruns where Will Ferrell and Michael Scott do the Dundee Awards, which is pretty great.
but they can't really. They're not the same. The ones without Michael Scott, you could just tell that they're just trying to recreate something that's not as good.
Oh, and then they had that horrible woman, a British woman, come in who fucking sucked. Again, it's all reruns because The Office is one of those shows. For a while, it was one of those shows similar to how Seinfeld used to be. You could turn on the TV at any point in time, and The Office was on. You could always find The Office on one channel or another.
Yeah, I know Seinfeld's still on. I think The Office is too. If you just turn on Comedy Central anytime.
Yeah.
There's always marathons. I never got into the marathon. There's only so much Office I can take in one setting.
Yeah.
The marathon is
so
good if you're.
ridiculous.
The proximity of the kitchen to the couch is what makes a marathon good, right? If you got to get up a lot, it's no good.
Yeah.
But a marathon, you get really sunk in.
I feel like for a marathon, you need a cliffhanger episode. You need a Game of Thrones or something where it's what's going to happen? Oh, I got to see the next one now. With The Office, you're I don't know, there's standalone episodes. I don't really
It's
give
just
a
going to be
shit.
ridiculous. Michael Scott doing something offensive and hilarious.
It's
What will he
background
say
TV, right? That's what it is. It's background. Now it's background TV. The first time watching it through, we still had, it was an era where you still watched TV at the certain time. And I don't remember ever watching, The Office was something I never really watched on the schedule.
Yeah.
I wasn't that into it. I kind of caught up to it on reruns later on more than anything. But my wife loved it.
Yeah, it was hard to keep up those schedules in those mid 2000s. It was 2006, 2000.
When the DVRs came out,
Yeah, that changed everything.
You got TiVo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pay $10 extra a month for this box, and my storage is full, and I have to record the show on afterwards because a lot of times it cuts off at the end.
Exactly.
Actually, professional
that was the
wrestling.
worst. That was the worst when you'd have it cut off. It would overlap and it would switch because it had 3 minutes, a lead time of 3 minutes. You're like, why? Why would you do this?
Yeah. I got in the habit of recording the show after whatever I wanted to watch, and a lot of times it was a sporting show. So you want to watch a game, and then you have to record the post game afterwards, and then next thing you know, your DVR is full because it's got extra hours of nonsense that you only needed to watch the first 5 minutes of.
Yep, exactly.
We're in a better place
Bullshit.
now in technology.
Yeah. All right. So, any other notes on The Office, or should we give our grades?
I just like the Michael and Pam dynamic. You were talking earlier how he's just completely inappropriate talking to her before, throws the facts in the thing. And then also when he's giving the speech, well, first when he's talking to his boss and he wants Pam to cover for him.
Oh, yeah.
She completely doesn't. It's like, oh, yeah, because you threw that in the trash.
As a joke.
Yeah.
And then when he's talking to the staff about like the office clothes, he's like, oh, yeah, the boss explicitly said it might be us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, that was confidentiality agreement.
Right. He's like,
I like to that. This was in both US and UK, also where Pam makes a joke about being underpaid. And he's just like, be professional. Be professional. Not today. Take it up with HR.
Yeah.
HR give raises? I don't know how corporate structure works.
Sometimes, I guess. Oh, and also, I forgot, he also did a Hitler joke where he picks up he picks up Pam's name tag and he marches on the office with it over his nose and does zig hails. And then he turns around, he's like, I'm Hitler.
Classic office comedy.
That's good stuff. Oh man,
excellent.
It probably was really fun working in an office, like 90s to 2005.
I like
internet.
I had a time. Well, Rico,
there's no email protocol, no HR to tell you can't email anything or open any attachment.
When I lived in LA and worked at that office in Santa Monica, it was the work sucked. It was miserable, but the people that worked there, I had so much fun with. It was great. And then they kind of moved out to the airport area, and I was like, it's not as fun.
I had a similar situation. The first office I worked at, like I liked both offices I worked at, I had fun with. But the first one I worked at when I was young was really great too, because I had a hot VP who was about my age. I had another hot chick to work with me, a gay guy work with us. So going out.
Was the VP your age now, or the age that you were?
She was my age now. She was very young for a VP. She's maybe a couple years older than me, but hot British chick, hot blonde British chick. And I started off as an assistant to the CEO, but I remember one time he had all these interns, and this one really hot intern.
Assistant CEO.
Assistant to the CEO.
Assistant to the CEO.
Assistant CEO. So anyway, assistant CEO. But there's this intern who's really smoking hot. She's like a ballerina or something. And one day, we're working together, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sore in my neck." And I'm like, "Oh, I'll give you a massage." She's like lying on the floor, face down. I'm sitting on top of her giving her a massage, and my VP walks in, and I'm like, "Her neck is sore."
Yeah.
But again, she's just like, "Get up," and I was like, "All right." And this one, I was really low down. But it was good times in offices back before this fucking bullshit. In fact, before the PC HR crowd got involved.
I was the day.
Yeah,
office happy hours.
Every opportunity to massage a ballerina. So you're gonna
But also my VP, we went out drinking, and she's like, "I'm bringing my friend," and she brought this hot friend to make it out with her. Those are the days, man. Those were the days.
Well, so that's the difference between happy hour in LA and the happy hour in Scranton, Pennsylvania for the Office cast.
Oh yeah,
they probably drink harder in Scranton. Just go and drink whiskey on the rocks because life is so depressing. In LA, you're just having fun, and there's a bunch of good-looking people everywhere.
Rico, do you not remember the St. Patty's Day in Scranton where Howie was dressed as
I do.
What was he dressed as? Well, he showed up all bloody, which is typical for Howie.
Dressed up as a guy who got beat up by a pole.
Former host of the show, by the way, Howie, or our old show.
Was it fake blood or real blood?
No, very real blood. And the worst pizza I've ever had, it was like American cheese pizza. Disgusting.
Ew.
But Scranton is full of unbelievably hot inbred Irish women. I'll never forget how many hot women we saw that day. I was blown away. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Every
I think
girl
they
was hot
imported
and
them for the
Irish.
St. Patty's, like kind of like how Vegas brings in Ladies of the Night for a fight
Do they ever?
weekend. I think Scranton does that for its St. Patty's Day parade.
It
Yeah.
brings in inbred Irish women for the St.
Yeah.
Patrick's
Yeah, they
Day
fly him in. They all sound like
Like it's
leprechauns.
our all our budget is going on airfare for these
Yeah.
hot young,
All right, so what do you give The Office?
Brain
What's your letter
dead.
grade? And then we'll move on to the new Shane Gillis show, Tires. What do you give The Office?
I
give
give
it
The
an
A.
Office. Yeah, of course, an A. It's a great show. It's
It was great from moment
one of
one.
like the top 5 shows ever made, probably in the modern times. You know,
I give it an A minus. A minus for me. Still great. A minus. All right, let's move on to Tires with Shane Gillis, who also has a. Now, here's the question: is Shane Gillis, who's now an unbelievably big comedian? I like Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
I'm not.
He was the
find
fat
him as
guy,
funny.
right?
He's the fat tall guy. People think he's the funniest guy in the world. I like him. I don't think he's that unbelievably hilarious. Maybe I'm the outlier. I must be the outlier here, but I mean, I like him.
I mean,
I've
he's
never
funny.
watched the stand-up, actually. I've listened to him a little bit on Rogan.
No.
He seems funny-ish, but
I think it's
whatever.
funny how like a character on Mad TV or SNL would be funny. He doesn't seem like he's
Funny like a clown.
Yeah, he's got the gestures and the
Well,
facial expressions.
He's got the expressions, and he's very un-PC, which I like. I strongly appreciate that. And of course, Shane Gillis was canceled from Saturday Night Live because activists found him doing an Asian accent, of course, which I was just doing earlier on this very show. There ain't nothing wrong with doing Asian stereotype accents, people, or any stereotype accent. Flat out, period.
Was he on
Especially if you're being funny.
SNL? This Shane Gillis dude? Was
he
on-
He
was
hosted.
on. Well, no. He was on SNL as a cast member. Before he got on the show, these people were like, he's a racist. He's making an Asian accent on a podcast from like 5 years ago. And SNL, fucking pussies, to their great discredit, took him off. They're like,
No
all right,
surprise
you're
there.
fired. Not on SNL. Then he got so big after that, they had to have him back on to host.
Oh, so maybe
He's a
that's a
great
good thing. That
FU
happened
moment.
to him. Maybe going on
Awesome.
SNL would have tanked his ass, but
It probably would have, because that show sucks. But
yeah. He would have
Yeah,
just
that's
You know,
the
what
story.
you know what other show sucks?
Tires?
Tires.
I didn't think it
Fucking
sucked.
Terrible.
No,
It might have
it
been the
wasn't
worst
that
show I've ever watched.
Get
I
out of
paused it.
here.
I paused it after 10 minutes. And I'm like, how much more of this show do I have to watch? It's like 13 more minutes. It was terrible. There was
I don't think it was that bad.
no humor. I mean,
Yeah.
I see the attempts of what they were trying to do. It wasn't funny. I
There
didn't
were a couple
chuckle
moments that got me.
at
There were a
all.
couple moments that got me. All right,
until
all right.
like the end. But you can start off as you will.
Well, let me just say, I'll set the stage. So it takes place. It stars Shane Gillis, who, by the way, I don't know if he's balding or just has a weird shaped head and mustache, but he looks like, remember those magnetic? Let me show you a picture. Magnetic
like-
beard and mustache people.
It was like Willie something.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah. This guy,
Willie.
Wooly
Willie.
Willie. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like Wooly Willie if you drug the metal filings around and made a goatee and a hair is what Shane Gillis looks like. He looks exactly like Wooly Willie.
Oh,
So-
I want to change my answer to the time machine. If I could go back, I'd go back and invent Wooly Willie before the real guy.
I think your first plan was way better. There's Wooly Willie. So you drag magnetic shavings with your magnet wand and you give him mustaches and hair. And that's what Shane Gillis looks like. Somebody just did that.
I like. Hey, check
So-
it out. The one in the lower right corner kind of looks like a Chinese dude. So it's like they're making fun
It
of
is.
They're making fun of
It's
Asians
a
too.
Fu Manchu. Hey, Rico's getting a boner just looking at this magnetic shavings thing.
That's what I'm doing under
So-
the desk right now. You don't want
So
to see.
Shane Gillis,
Why
I don't
did
know if I think he conceived it and helped write it, but he's at a tire stop in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, which is about 40 minutes where I grew up. The convention center was there. A mall was there with a carousel with horses. I know it well. So it's a tire stop in auto shop in Valley Forge, run by doofuses. A new doofus who took over from his dad. He's only managed it for like 2 weeks or 2 months or something. Shane Gillis' character, Shane, who's a wrench monkey, and then another random dude with a mustache we don't really meet, and then two guys called the Wops, which I enjoyed. That's good. That's good stuff.
The one guy
Yeah.
was hilarious on the Tom Brady roast. If you
I
watched that.
recognize that dude
Yeah.
with the mustache and
The old school, like
Yeah, I'm
70
trying to remember his
strongman
name.
or 20 strongman mustache.
Yeah, hold on. Cast of Tires. Yeah, he's a pretty well-known comedian actually. Andrew Schultz is his name. Yeah, he's really funny. Stavros, I mean, they're all comedians. Steve Gerben's a comedian. He plays the main guy, Will, who runs the shop. Stavros Halakis is Dave, I guess his brother. But it's a tire shop. The guy's trying to get tires sold because he bought too many, the guy that owns it. So they go with this concept. They're going to market to women. Yeah. So it's like, we're going to market to women. We want women to feel comfortable. We're going to sell all these tires. So they put up signs around the store that say like, you know, you're going to go, girl, with these tires.
You'll go, girl.
You'll go, girl. And like, I don't know, other stupid slogans. And they get a reporter to come to write about it. And that's the basic plot. And it goes horribly awry.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the buying too many tires, like that was just dumb. Like, is there an explanation on why you bought too many tires? You couldn't have thought of a joke for this? Like, I just bought too many. Like, why? Like, I don't know. Just think of something. He's
like, I guess
was
it's
drunk.
Dad's
I was filling out the form, or
I hit one too many zeros. Something they didn't really explain why how he came to order that many tires.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. The comedian-based show didn't explain the plot point.
I mean, they got a lot of money to make this show. I mean, put a little effort into it,
right?
And then the marketing campaign to females. All right, like okay, we'll be like, you know, very offensive and anti-woke and all that. Like, cool. But I like didn't laugh at it. I'm like, all right, let's stretch the boundaries a little bit more.
Some of it was funny. I mean, look,
I think you're right though, Rico. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, where he's calling his dad in the beginning of the episode, he's like to tell him he bought the tires. He leaves this long message, and then he's like, oh, I'll re-record it. And he hits the wrong button, and he's like, fuck my cunt. And then it's like, is your message sent? All right, entertaining enough.
That would actually been more funny if they would have established what he was trying to do with the women before.
Yeah.
Because women don't like that word. And then a missed opportunity. He's trying to do this women thing. He should have tried to bring women in as hire them for a spokesperson. And that could have added like a layer.
Or do like
random women showing
community outreach where Shane Gillis is going. His character name is Shane too, right? Where he's like going up to women and passing them out flyers and being horribly offensive.
He could have done the whole thing. Like, it was funny. One of the funnier scenes.
Yeah, they didn't change the scenes
I don't think
enough. It all took place in the one setting. It needed
that's probably the pitch. Is it's like Cheers, dude. It's cheap to film because it's all in a tire. It's on the one tire shop. It's just a great pitch because executives love that. But to your point about he could have been funnier going out. They do this scene where it's like, hey, the lead guy, Will, he's like talking to Shane. He's like, you got to make women feel comfortable. And Shane's like, oh, I can make women feel real comfortable. It's like, oh, what are you going to say? He goes, hey, let's get you some lobsters and shrimp. that was funny. It cracked me up.
That was not bad.
Good.
And then when he's
funny
like,
to see him doing that more in the wild. I agree.
Like
if he went to the mall to hand out flyers.
Exactly. We're looking,
and then he spent this entire time at Bubba Gum Shrimp or something,
or a casting call or something like that. Because they could easily. But then it's almost turning into Always Sunny in Philadelphia at that.
There's
point.
nothing wrong with it. The worst thing that could happen to it would be if it turned into the Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of the funniest shows that's ever existed in the history of the world. God forbid that happens. But there were some funny lines. I like Shane Gillis's line about, gonna bring in customers and he'll give them Noru massages. He'll give the women Noru massages. Do you know what that is?
Exactly. Like these guys that instead of a tire
We've
shop.
all watched that online.
Yeah, the oil-based nudie Noru massage.
If I go to
that I've had one.
If I go to the Burke Williams and I can ask for a Nuru massage.
Yeah. You know what? There's got to be some place in LA that gives you
go to the
massage
parlor by any airport and you're gonna get one. Don't worry.
Any airport.
All right. Well then, let's wrap it up. When do you give tires?
I give it a
No, it's a joke, Don. That was a fucking joke. It's an idiot. Straight over your head. They say Ashkenazi Jews have the highest IQs of all the races. Not Don.
Well,
dragging it
I didn't say
That's
down.
the Jewish-controlled media that says that. Come on.
All right. This will be edited.
I'll say.
So this ugly reporter, the ugliest man I think I've ever seen in my life, comes to
Yeah,
do
he
a
was.
puff piece. God, he's ugly. Holy shit, he's ugly. He comes to do a puff piece on the store. They've got a woman that works there who they don't let to go home. She dropped like a tire on her foot and it's all broken up. They don't let her go home. And I like that the reporter interviews her. And he's like, did that man hire you? And she goes, no, his dad did. Actually, they transferred me from the main store because I called a customer a faggot.
That was
All
fun.
right.
That was funny. I laughed at
And then I
that
think she was
line.
like, are you gay? It's like, I have a girlfriend. He's like, I don't know.
No, she goes, are you married? And he goes, I got a girlfriend. And she says, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah, So she was
seems-
funny.
She seems like a nice slut.
Yeah, nice good slutty boot. Especially
Yeah, that'll
with a
be
broken
interesting
foot.
for the show. I would watch the show some more. It seemed pretty funny.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if I will. And I wish I liked it more. I mean, I don't think it was terrible, but it definitely didn't grab me. And I was surprised people like, I guess Shane Gillis has a shit ton of fans. And honestly, I need to watch because I know this other comedian named Tim Butterly, who I want to see. I know he's on it at some point, so I'll probably watch it till I see him and then I'll stop watching. But I don't know. It didn't grab me like I thought it would. I thought it was really going to be great because they renewed it right away because it got so many views.
I
but-
saw that. It did. It said like a new season 2 is already announced. And I thought,
Yeah, already in
oh,
the
it
works.
must be good. But maybe
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
shows get better
So-
after a second season. Or
So I'm looking at the IMDb ratings of the episode. So it only got a 7.0, and that's with the fans. So that's
Yeah.
not really good. I guess episode 5 was the highest rated, 8.3.
Oh, that's
So
a
I
lot
guess
of
it's
stuff.
about-
But
Yeah,
it's,
stick through a lot.
it's not really that highly rated as a show.
It was just, I mean, look, it's a clone of The Office, is what it is. I mean,
no
everything about it,
Goldbergs.
the music, the way it's shot, even is very office-y. It's got like the cameras kind of behind a cup, kind of behind where like it is The Office. Like it's appropriate. We watched it after watching The Office, when you see like one that's like, this show's perfect. They did it. That's why it's famous. And then this one's kind of a knockoff of it. It's fine, but
There was nothing like compelling about any of the characters. Like The Office had characters.
Shane's character is the only one that's compelling because his character
I don't know,
tries
he's
to jump on
compelling. He's somewhat
grenade.
interesting.
Well,
He's
at this
funny,
point,
at least.
all
Well, he
they're-
tries to jump on the grenade so the reporter's going to write a bad story. He tries
That
to
was
jump on the
a
grenade,
good scene.
and he's like, I'm just a fucking idiot. These are all my idiot ideas. And the reporter is going to kill the story because Shane is being a good guy, and he's like, I'm going to save you. I'm going to jump on the grenade here. And then I can't remember who. Oh, like one of the Watt brothers comes in, and Andrew Schultz comes in and fucks it up. And then the reporter's like, "Well, now I'm writing it." And then Shane Gillis looks up and goes, "He's like, I had you, you pussy. You were gonna kill it." And that was again, Shane Gillis's character is funny in it, but the problem is it's just not enough other great writing there.
No, the other characters are kind of just blah.
the characters are not developed into anything other than people that are just working in a tire shop. Even with The Office, the way that they did it, right away they're explaining like Pam's relationship to Roy and the whole introduction of the camera to The Office explains what you're watching. And that's why it just picks up right away. So this show could be funny if it keeps going. I mean, they already obviously picked it up for a second season. Maybe the characters develop into a more funny thing, because it is funny to watch like that neurotic kid who's just trying to run the show, but he's an idiot. And then his cousin, who's the Shane Gillis, like the main character. And then he's got like that fat dude with the mustache who's telling him don't spend any more money. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yep. Steven Nicholas or Nicholas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like I said, I'll probably watch to see this one comedian.
Yeah, your friend.
Yeah. Otherwise, it just didn't grab me. I give it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I give it a B. I know Rico gave it a D minus. I give it a B because it made me laugh a few times, and I can see promise in it, and I like that it's on PC.
You gave that a B, and you gave The Office an A minus, which is
honestly, I wanted to give Tires the lowest score. I know a B plus is between an A minus and a B. I wanted to give it a lower score, but I was like, I don't know. It got me to laugh, and there's something that
we need someone to keep
didn't even get me to laugh.
A grade list, and we can go back and see what Brian graded it. Because if that's a B, if you gave any show lower than a B,
I mean, honestly, I wanted to give Tires a C plus, but it did make me laugh several times.
Have we watched a worse show since we started doing this?
Oh God, yes.
I like
Super
that.
Sex. The Korean dating show. We watched many worse shows than Tires, Rico.
The Korean dating show is better.
I've been toying around this idea in my head. I think we should do a recap show.
A recap show of our
I don't
recapping
even remember what we did. I can't remember what I did last week, and I'm supposed to remember.
I think our 20th episode should be a recap show of what we did.
We could do that. Go through what we've already done.
20 episodes.
Get an intern to put together some clips.
We have 7 more shows between that happens. Let's see. Fallout, we gave good grade. The Gentleman, we liked. The Sympathizer we didn't like.
Sucks.
We all gave that C's and D's.
Yeah, this was worse than The Sympathizer.
Yeah. Sex and the City, I can't remember what we gave that. We still need to watch American Gladiators and the Norm Macdonald Show. But what do you guys? Well, first, what do you guys give it? What's your rating?
I gave it a C.
Yeah, D minus.
D minus. Yeah. Wow. Come on, Rico. There's some funny lines in there.
I didn't chuckle. I kind of did a like that a couple times, and then maybe the last 5 minutes I had a
I mean, I will agree. I did pause it 10 minutes.
Funny.
10 minutes in, I did the same thing as you. I did pause it 10 minutes in. I was like, how much longer is left?
If Rico
worked for show,
Rico, if you worked for Netflix, they wouldn't make any shows.
You know what?
They make a lot. They make a lot more money then.
You know what Netflix does have now, and they can charge my account $500 a month coming Labor Day.
What was that?
Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi.
Oh,
first time in 15 years.
Well, did you see? He's not allowed to do the Nathans because he signed a deal with a vegan hot dog brand.
Yes.
And Nathan's is like, fuck yourself. Excited. Which I think it's funny. I
want summer to be over so it can be Labor Day and I can watch it. I might want to go depending on where it is. I don't know.
So Netflix is taking over. Well, they're trying to take a dent out of the 4th of July Nathan money and do their own Labor Day eating contest. That'll be the championship
eating contest.
I don't know. Kobayashi would always destroy.
Well, they met before. I mean, we can turn this into a Kobayashi history lesson. I'll be happy to sit here all night and give you the Kobayashi facts. He was like the Babe Ruth of hot dog eating. And then all of a sudden you get this Barry Bonds guy. It's like, oh, they're in the same era. It's mind-blowing. It's fantastic.
They put the sport on the map.
Oh, is it? Yes. Yeah, I would greenlight. If I ran Netflix, it would be eating competitions every day.
Fox did that. They had that incredible eating competition.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was nasty.
No, it would just be Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi.
No. Oh, wait. I have an idea. Here's what you want. Here's what the people need. You have the Biggest Loser, right? But when people get eliminated from that show, they get to immediately walk across the lot and take part in the eating. Yeah, when they get relegated, they go directly across the eating championship. If they win the eating championship, straight back across to the greatest. Loser.
But that is actually a good.
It's a perfect cycle.
A relegation system of reality shows.
Yeah,
and then you could get promoted to The Bachelor. You can start off in the 10th tier of reality TV. It's like My 600-Pound Life, and you're like, and you could go from that, work your way up, and become the Bachelorette.
I like it.
Who's not in for that? Come on.
They should take a 600-pound lifer and then dump him in the Naked and Afraid, and then and then they
Then
won't
you
have
go
to
to
look for food. They'll just sit there and
all the
live
all the
off their-
predators in the jungle are running from them. They're like, just knocking over the trees.
Imagine how much
I need
weight
a
those
public
people would
investment firm to
lose.
contact me, and I'll work out all the details for this. It's gonna take over TV.
You heard it here
like it.
first, folks.
All right, so what are we doing next episode, guys? What I don't know what the new shows are. I'll say,
I'm not picking. I picked last time, and I was
severely disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Game of Thrones, the Dragons, whatever is coming back. I'm gonna watch that.
Dragon.
House of the Dragon. I don't know if you guys have.
I did not like the first episode of that, but it got good.
If we
It
have,
got really good.
if we have,
So we
the
could do
H-
season 2, House of the Dragon, as the first episode.
Okay.
Well, you can't do season 2, episode 1. It's first episode, not
I
first episode of the
know, I
season,
know.
pal.
Let me see. I gotta see what else just came out. What just dropped? Oh, there was some show on. I think it was Netflix that just dropped. Netflix new shows June. I still want to do. By the way, American Gladiators. Still really want to do that. The Wonder Years, Mr. Belvedere, and Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls, because I know I fucking hate it, and I can't wait to talk about how much I hate it.
What's it on? Netflix?
Gilmore Girls was on. Let me see. Gilmore Girls streaming. The Gilmore Girls streaming is on Netflix. Yes, so we could. That's an easy one.
And that's old.
That's old as shit. My wife. I've had my wife play that. It was one of those shows she used to like play when she was in the bedroom by herself, and it is so annoying. God, it's annoying.
Gilmore Girls.
So we can watch that.
All right, that's the old
whatever.
show. Then what's the new
All right,
show?
we agreed. Gilmore Girls. All right, the new show. Let me see. New on Netflix in June. There are some new. There are definitely some new things that just dropped. I saw.
Now, if we have the Max app, we can watch the second season, episode 1 of MILF Manor.
We'd have to watch.
Well, we already said we're not doing season 2s of anything anymore. We're just doing.
We've done
it's gotta
that,
be
though.
brand new. We
Yeah.
have. We shouldn't have. No, we have
When-
done.
when did we
season
do
2s.
that?
The Korean dating show is a season 2, but we shouldn't.
Oh,
We shouldn't do that.
yeah.
We
I
should
agree.
do only the new. All right, let's see. It's got to be something. I mean, really, I should have kept notes. This is intriguing.
Yeah, because didn't we do a Bachelor or something?
Oh yeah, we did do The Bachelor.
We did
Yeah.
do that.
And that was definitely not new.
All right, Netflix original. I don't want Netflix originals. I need new shows. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, to be announced, because this is telling me all movies. I know.
Well, we'll watch the
Hitman, that's a
Gilmore
movie.
Gilmore Girls. Would be the old show.
Oh, we could do another Korean show. Season 1 of the Mindfulness Manual, a Korean lifestyle reality series for our Korean viewers.
That sounds terrible.
Let me see.
You know I like Korean TV, but even me.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Dr. Climax, a Thai comedy series, Netflix original, season 1.
Dr. Climax it is.
I don't think all Netflix is only dropping apparently Asian. Oh, this sounds interesting. Joko Anwar's Nightmares and Daydreams, an Indonesian anthology sci-fi series.
Oh my gosh.
What is your setting set to? Like,
Dude, this is just what Netflix is bringing to the table, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
let me see.
the algorithm knows me. It suggests all the Korean shows for me.
This is just what's coming. New on Hulu season
Any like
1.
crime shows or
I don't know, maybe. This is where we need people from the audience to suggest things.
well, we need an audience and then people.
Yeah.
from
Well,
the
yeah, but let's not put the
Yeah,
cart in
no.
front of the horse. I guess I put the cart in front of the horse. Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. We'll figure out the new show. Just tune in. You guys will be fine. We'll talk about Gilmore
Yeah.
Girls. How much I fucking hate it. That's more than enough. And we'll go from there. How about that? Sound good?
Oh wait, what's 2 weeks? Oh no, never mind. I was thinking 2 weeks from now is like July 4th, but that's 3 weeks.
That's 3
No
weeks, Rico.
problem.
Yeah.
All
Works
right.
out well.
Well, If you have a suggestion for a
yeah.
new show, people, you could go ahead and tweet it at Brian McWilliams on Twitter.
It should be a patriotic show for the holiday.
Oh, well, it's season 3 or season 4. The Boys is back.
It's a dumb rule. You just made it up.
Our dumb rule. Our dumb rules.
That's what you get for just making up a dumb rule.
Smart rule.
It's a very smart rule. We have to stick to our guns. All right.
We can't have chaos. Come on.
Yeah. Goodbye. This is over. See you later.
It was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!